All right, tonight's our last night in Baja California.
Tomorrow we are taking the ferry from La Paz to Mazatlán.
So I guess we'll see how mainland Mexico treats us.
Hopefully good. Hopefully just like Baja.
Today is Ferry Day. We are the Toyota Roamers, and after weeks in Baja, we're officially crossing the Sea of Cortez, from La Paz to Mazatlán, with our home on wheels, Bloopy, and our cat, Bolly. This is part 2 of our ferry series, and today we're walking you through what Ferry Day actually looks like. Let's roam! We left La Paz with our destination set to Pichilingue Port. Our ferry was scheduled to depart at 7 p.m., and Baja Ferries recommends arriving by 3 p.m. We arrived extra early. Now here's something important. If you have not purchased ferry tickets or do not have your temporary import permit, tip, take the first entrance on the left. The tip office is straight ahead. If you followed our advice from part 1 and pre-booked your tickets and already have your tip, take the second entrance on the left, where you'll see large arches. This puts you directly into the inspection line. Make sure all personal and vehicle documents are easily accessible. You'll be asked for them multiple times.
Okay, so Tevin was back there with the...
Yeah, they wanted me to jump out. They had to do first a VIN inspection. So making sure that our registration matches the VIN on the vehicle. Ours, the VIN is like under the hood, up against the firewall. So she had to inspect that, and then she asked to open up the back doors and kind of go through what we had. So I opened up the back, and she asked me if I was importing anything, do you have any guns, drugs, or money? And I said a little bit of money. A little bit of money. And she said, how much do you have? And I said, like 2,000 pesos. Like, not much. We don't carry much at all. She's like, okay, no big deal. And then she saw the cat box and was like, do you have a cat? And I'm like, yeah, he's just hiding somewhere up front. She's like, okay. And then she's like, can you open up the other doors? And I'm like, what other doors? She's like, open up the other doors. And I'm like, oh, there's only technically like 3 doors, or you know what I mean, 4 doors.
Okay, so if you had more doors, she would want to look around
I think so.
Okay.
And then she's like, what else do you have in there? And she made me pull open our cook drawer.
Oh, okay.
And she kind of looked at some stuff in there, and then she was asking what our water jugs were, and I said, nope, they're completely empty.
Jugs?
Yeah, the water.
I thought you said water drugs.
Our water drugs, our water jugs. I opened them up and I said, no, we left them empty. There's nothing in here.
Well, because we're about to get weighed, so we were kind of like, why would we...
Extra 80 pounds.
Yeah, why would we put on another 80 pounds for water when...
And we will have to pay a fee here. She just said once you get weighed, you will have to pay a cash fee, so make sure you have cash. I think that's really it. She just saw Bolly and was like, oh, okay, bye. And just go bye.
So if you have cats or pets, dogs...
And then the next step after that, she said, go and jump in the line behind a truck. You're gonna get weighed. They're gonna weigh our vehicle. We're gonna have to pay a fee. And there's gonna be 2 offices. One office we've pointed at already. It's over to the side here. That's kind of where they're gonna give us a ticket. We have to get our full booking confirmation done and everything. I don't know what this other office is though. So we'll see as we get there, and we'll tell you guys.
When it's your turn, officials will ask for passports and vehicle registration. There's a chance your vehicle will be inspected, so do yourself a favor. Tidy up. Know what items are prohibited. Don't stress. After inspection, your vehicle gets measured and the driver is asked for personal details for the vehicle paperwork. You'll probably talk to multiple border employees here. Some speak perfect English, some don't, so having basic Spanish or Google Translate downloaded offline is extremely helpful. Next stop, the scale. You'll be asked for the paperwork you were just given and then charged 241 pesos, about $14 US or 18 Canadian dollars. We thought this fee was based on vehicle weight, but we paid before going on the scale. And our friend Craig, who took the ferry the day before in a Jeep, paid the exact same amount. So, mystery fee confirmed. Once weighed, they return your paperwork with your vehicle weight and length, which is actually very useful if you plan to ship your vehicle later on your travels.
So there's the other ferry that we could have taken. That's our ferry. Okay, so we came through there had to go back down there for the scale. Then we did a U-turn and kind of came to this area here. And now we're gonna go to this gray building. It's honestly kind of like organized chaos. So hopefully just by watching this, you guys can understand a little bit more as we go through it.
Here's where things took an unexpected turn. We learned that any passengers besides the driver must board the ferry by bus. We'd heard from other travelers that they stayed together in their vehicle, but when we asked multiple times, I was told I could not stay in the vehicle with Tevin. Not gonna lie, I didn't love being separated from my partner and all our belongs, but sometimes you have to trust the process. And honestly, now you get to see both sides of boarding.
So we have to separate it now. So Tevin has his ticket, Ollie's ticket, and our vehicle's ticket. And then he's going to now drive to the load onto the ship. And I'm gonna go through those glass doors, and around 4:30, I have to go board. I go down a bus, and then I'm gonna go board. So we are separating now. We told them that Tevin doesn't speak any Spanish, and they said it shouldn't be any problem. Honestly, you could kind of fumble your way through even if you don't speak any Spanish, but okay.
There we go.
All right, my love.
See ya.
Okay, Bali, be good.
After saying goodbye to Tevin, I walked back into the ticket building, and suddenly everyone was rushing into lines. It was 3:45 p.m. I'd been told boarding would start at 4:30, but again, trust the process. They checked my passport and ticket, did intermittent bag checks, and if you have large luggage, you can leave it aside to be loaded onto the bus. As the bus pulled away, it hit me how wild this is. This entire ship will be filled with people, personal vehicles, and massive semis, all crossing the sea together. Once on board, we were guided through the halls by the crew. Since we wanted to hit the road immediately when we arrived in Mazatlán, we booked a cabin, and specifically a pet-friendly cabin, so Bali wouldn't have to stay in the onboard kennel. We're sailing on a brand new ship called the Cabo Star, and honestly, there wasn't much information online about what to expect. The Baja Ferries website was less than helpful. So when I finally opened the cabin door, I was pleasantly surprised and very excited to show Tevin our home for the night. In our next video, I'll give you the full tour. But first, I went exploring.
So it's 4:32 right now. I'm boarded onto the ship. I think Tevin, Bali, and Bloopy are somewhere over in that corner, because he said he was in a corner and I don't see anywhere else he could be. So I'm guessing like the cars get loaded on last. So we still have almost 2.5 hours until we are supposed to leave. There are still people coming in to where you initially get checked, those like gates over there. And technically they told people to be here about 3 hours before we depart, which is it was 4 o'clock. But honestly, I'm so glad we came early. There's everything on board that we would want, so it's better to just be safe than sorry.
Watching the semis load was unreal. They had to reverse the entire way up a steep ramp. Absolute pro drivers. I had a front row seat to the action. Up on the top deck, it felt like a party. Bar tables, loud music, high energy. I thought, this is awesome. And I also wondered what Tevin was doing.
There's Bloopy! I can just barely see him.
We thought Bloopy was about to be loaded, but it was a fake out. While we absolutely recommend arriving early on ferry day, just know you may be waiting a long time. A crew member stopped me in the hall and handed me a pee pad and small pet bed. If your cat uses pee pads, impressive. Our old boy will be sticking with his litter box. The website also said we needed a recent pet health certificate, which we got in La Paz, but we were never asked for it. No guarantees either way. Just be prepared. Finally, it was Bloopy's turn. And yes, it was already getting dark. Tevin and Bali had been waiting in the heat for hours, so keep this in mind if you're traveling with pets and be prepped with drinks and snacks. Luckily, Bloopy didn't have to reverse all the way up. The staff directed traffic the entire time. It looked like semis on the lower decks, personal vehicles on the upper deck. And honestly, we were surprised how few personal vehicles there were. Where were all the travelers? Bloopy ended up with a VIP corner spot, just a few cars away from another Toyota traveling couple we'd later meet, and eventually travel with through mainland Mexico.
My fearless leader. Maya. Good job, baby.
We made it.
Okay.
I don't know what he was saying, number 4.
Oh. Hello, Bali.
Finally, the Toyota roamers were reunited. One important note, the crew doesn't allow people to linger at their vehicles after parking, so make sure everything you need overnight is ready to grab. We wouldn't see Bloopy again until we crossed the Sea of Cortez. All in all, our Baja Ferries boarding experience was smooth and successful. In the next video, we'll give you a full boat tour, walk through cabin options, common areas, and share tips for surviving the overnight crossing. Until then, let's roam!